Welcome into Chic and Ball. I'm your host, ElzdaTruph. Thank you for tuning in and watching. We got another mock draft for you guys today. But unlike any other mock draft, today we're going to reveal our draft board of guards, forwards, and bigs. A lot of trades happening out on these WNBA streets, so the draft order looks a whole lot different. Let's look at it, break it down, and get our clock ready. The Washington Mystics with 3 picks in the first round. They'll be picking at 3, 4, and 6. Dallas with 2 picks in the first round, picking at number 1 and number 8. The Aces ain't got no pick in the first round. The Atlanta Dream ain't got no pick in the first round. And the Phoenix Mercury also no pick in the first round. And my purpose of showing this is I want y'all to see that I have to go through a lot of players when I make this mock draft. It ain't about just selecting players from the top schools. And I kind of want to take y'all through my process of how I pick these players and how I would come up with a list like this. First, I look at all the seniors, primarily the ones that played in the tournament. Then I look at what schools that they go to, and I look at the history of that school and how many players were drafted from that school. And I look at how those players performed in the WNBA. That's one of the biggest factors that I use is how do players from that school play in the WNBA. Then after that, I look at the player's specific skill set. Can they shoot? Can they pass? Can they dribble? Do they rebound? Then from that point, I usually think about what the team need first, if this player would fit with the personalities on the team, and then I make the pick. But trust me on this, it takes hours and hours of film watching and processing before I could even think about a list. That being said, let's get to the first pick being made by the Dallas Wings. And with the first pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Dallas Wings select Paige Bueckers, University of Connecticut. Now we know this pick has been a long time coming. Ain't nobody challenged Paige for this pick this entire season, but check out this first shot. What we about to see in Dallas is 2 of the toughest contested shot makers in women's basketball right now. Not only can she score with the best of them, with Satou Sabally moving out, Paige got the ability to play point guard the way Satou was playing. So the way you see her dropping it off to Sarah Strong right here, expect a whole lot more of that in the WNBA. Because I think it's going to take her a minute, just like it take all rookies a little minute to get their feet wet as far as scoring. But with the floor a little more spread, she got Enrique on one side, Dejanay on another side, I think she'll turn into more of a willing passer. Now let's pass it over to the Seattle Storm, who will be picking at number 2. They move up in the draft after trading Jewell Loyd, which I think was a good move because if somebody want to get out, you get them out of there and you start over. How? By getting the top pick in the draft. With that being said, let's get to the number 2 pick being made by the Seattle Storm. And with the number 2 pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Seattle Storm select Olivia Miles, Notre Dame. Even with all the trades, I think Olivia Miles has earned this. Career 14, 6, and 6, which I think she'll probably be about that in the WNBA, probably a little bit better in the assist category. The way she loved to get her teammates involved, I think her assist number is going to balloon. Much improved 3-point shooter, and she still got some bounce even after the surgery, as you can see on the alley-oop. And if the way she's shooting the ball can carry over into the WNBA, even with losing Jewell Loyd, this team might be right back at the playoffs next year. Not saying she's better than Jewell Loyd, but she can give them pretty fair production. Picking at number 3 will be the Washington Mystics, recently trading Ariel Atkins to the Chicago Sky for this pick. And when you do something like that, that means you see a player that you know is going to take your team into the future. That being said, let's get to the pick. And with the 3rd pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Washington Mystics select Azzi Fudd, Connecticut. Hey, I'm gonna let y'all in on something. I had this podcast done for a couple days now, but I had to change the entire thing because I had Azzi Fudd going to Chicago. And I guess if Washington gonna give up Ariel Atkins, this would be a really good pick for them. Alright, but screw the draft for a second. Y'all know I'm an Angel Reese fan. Y'all know I'm a Chicago Sky fan. My mom is from Chicago, so I've been a Chicago sports fan for a long time. Now, Cleveland always gonna be number one. The Cavs, Browns, Indians, Guardians. But I can promise you, my mama ain't let me miss no Bulls games during the Jordan era. Now that being said, come on Chicago, what the hell are we doing giving up a top pick? Don't get me wrong, Ariel Atkins is a really good player, but me personally, I would have rather taken my chances with the young player, Azzi Fudd, let her grow with the other young players on the team. But either way, Azzi will be back with Aaliyah Edwards, so we know some type of chemistry will be there. Next pick being made by the Washington Mystics. And this team been rebuilding for I don't know how long. Hopefully help is on the way. Now let's get to the pick. And with the 4th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Washington Mystics select Kiki Iriafen, Southern California. No change in my pick here at number 4. I still like Kiki growing to be an all-star caliber player in the WNBA. She already starting to spread her game out to the three-point line. She's showing the ability to take taller players off the dribble because she gonna see some real bigs in the W. The only thing that made me pause a little bit on this pick is because this team already got Shakira Alston, who's 6'5", and Aaliyah Edwards is 6'3", same height as Kiki. So you're definitely not gonna be able to play all three of them together, but I still think you just gotta take her and see who comes out on top. Now, I do think there is a way you can play all three of them together, but it's going to require having some real dynamic guards, which this team don't really got right now. Next pick will be made by the Golden State Valkyries. And before we get to that pick, I want to take a brief detour. Let me just shout out my city, Cleveland, Ohio, for being granted the expansion team. We getting our Cleveland Rockers back in 2028. And since we doing a draft, that'll be the year of Sarah Strong, Jelani Cambridge, Liv McGill, and a bunch of other freshmen I ain't got time to tell you about right now. I just hope they don't screw us over and give us a 5th pick like they did Golden State. In my opinion, if you're an expansion franchise, you should automatically get that number 1 pick. In any other profession, it would be stupid to have somebody start a business and give them inadequate employees. And that's no disrespect to the players on this team, but just imagine if they was able to get this number 1 pick, that would really change this franchise completely. And now it looks like we got the pick, so let's get to it. And with the 5th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Golden State Valkyries select Shyanne Sellers, Maryland. Hey, Shyanne Sellers gonna be one of them ones. After we had her going number 18 in the 2nd round, now we got her jumping all the way up to number 5. What impressed me the most and what I had to factor in is that she played at Maryland all 4 years, even though this team didn't really have no chance at winning. She could have transferred, took the NIL, but you gotta remember, her dad played in the NBA, so money ain't no thing to her. Cheyenne's goal when she went to Maryland was to become a better player, get her education, and get ready for the pros. She's playing more efficient than she ever has, shooting better than she ever has, 48% from the field, 41% from 3, and being 6'2", that's gonna give her an advantage over most guards in the WNBA. Picking at number 6 will be the Washington Mystics. We just had them taking Kiki Iriafen at number 4, and we got the pick in for number 6. And with the 6th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Washington Mystics select Te-Hina Paopao, South Carolina. This is another pick I didn't feel like I needed to change. This team is just so loaded at bigs with Kiki, Shakira, and Aaliyah. The only thing they need to do is fill out that backcourt. Seeing that Elena Deladon ain't walking through that door, one of the most efficient shooters the game has ever seen, They need to spread this floor with as many shooters as they can. And who better to start that process than one of the best shooters in college? And if Te-Hina Paopao do get drafted top 12, she'll be the 14th player that Dawn Staley got selected in the first round. I think Te-Hina Paopao gonna have one of them Sue Bird type 20-year careers. She's big enough, strong enough, and she can shoot better than half the players in the W right now. Picking at number 7 will be the New York Liberty. They coming off winning a championship, but it's a dynamic player that they got a chance to add to this team. So check this out. Let's see what we got here. And with the 7th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the New York Liberty select Aneesah Morrow, LSU. Last time we had Aneesah Morrow going number 3. This time she dropped down all the way to number 7. And the only reason I did that is because it's becoming more apparent that Aneesah Morrow is pretty much a one-dimensional player. Now that one dimension is dynamic, it's excellent, rebounding and scoring. But the fact that 90% of her points come from inside the free throw line, I think it's going to take some time before she can actually get busy. She'll have to play the 3 because she's too undersized to play the 4. And I didn't change my feeling. I still think if she can play with that reckless abandon like Angel Reese, who was also drafted at number 7, she can have that same kind of impact. Maybe not off the court, but definitely on the court. Picking at number 8 will be the Dallas Wings. Somehow they finagled another top 10 pick after picking up Dejanay Carrington and Ty Harris. They also don't have Kalani Brown. Tierra McGowan's not on the roster as I look at it right now. So check out what the Wings do with their second first round pick. And with the 8th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Dallas Wings select Sedona Prince, Texas Christian University. We gotta be fair. Sedona Prince is the best big and the most experienced big in this draft right now. Not only can she play out the post, but she can stretch it out to the mid-range. With all the great guards this team just picked up, Paige Bueckers, Dejanay, Taisha Harris, Arike's still there, Lou Lopez Seneschal. It should be a pretty smooth transition into the WNBA because she's going to be playing with those guards that's going to make it a lot easier than what she's playing with at TCU. I do think that she can struggle with the speed of the game and having to deal with bigs her size, but this is what she wanted and this is what she going to get. Picking at number 9 will be the Los Angeles Sparks. Some nice chess pieces on the board for the Sparks right now, and they got a chance to steal a queen. Let's see who we got here. And with the 9th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Los Angeles Sparks select Sonia Citron, Notre Dame. Sonia Citron went number 13 in our last mock draft. Now she jumped up to number 9. And she moved up a few spots for me because of the trades. Last time I had Azzi Fudd going at number 9. I seen her play a lot better, so I moved her up to number 3. And last time Seattle had this pick, so different rosters, different picks. And I really like what Sonia Citron can bring to this team. They really don't have no forwards outside of Rickea Jackson, so she can be guaranteed some playing time. She might actually be able to be a starter because when you look at the roster, it's really not many guards that can really challenge her for that spot. You go Kelsey Plum, Sonia Citron, Rickea Jackson, Cam Brink, and Azurá Stevens. I think the GM is building this team to play 5 out. Very fast, exciting type basketball. Next pick will be made by the Chicago Sky. I'm hoping they keep this pick, and if they do, let's get to it. And with the 10th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Chicago Sky select Georgia Amoore, Kentucky. Didn't feel like I need to change my pick here either. I still think Georgia Amoore can turn out to be the best point guard in this draft. Olivia Miles is only going higher because she's taller, she got the ability to get triple doubles, but if you're just looking for a quintessential point guard, yeah, that's Georgia Amoore. She might be a little bit over Olivia Miles in that category. I watched Georgia Amoore for 4 years in a row look to get Lias Kitley involved, while on the other hand still being able to knock down clutch shots when they needed them. And I'm gonna put it straight like this, if you ain't a fan of Georgia Amoore, then you ain't a fan of women's basketball, because she played the game the way it's supposed to be played. Pick number 11 will be made by the Minnesota Lynx, and we all know Cheryl Reeves don't really play them rookies, so good luck to the rookie that goes here. Now let's get to the pick. And with the 11th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Minnesota Lynx select Aziaha James, NC State. Last time we had Aziaha James going at number 7, so she moved down a couple spots, but it wasn't because of her talent at all, it was just because of the trades and team needs. Last time we had the Lynx taking Haley Van Lith, but if Aziaha James is on the board, I think she a little bit better. She might actually be pound for pound the toughest player in this draft. She one of the ones you don't want to meet out in the back alley. I honestly believe Aziaha James is the best pure scorer in this draft. If all these rookies were given the same opportunities, let's just say 10 to 15 shots a night, Aziaha James will average more points than all of them. She's pretty much the only player in this draft where scoring is her best ability. Not shooting, not getting to the rim, just flat out scoring. Picking at number 12 will be the Connecticut Sun. They pretty much gutted their entire roster. They're not bringing back no starters from 2024, and they absolutely need help in a lot of areas. That being said, let's get to the pick. And with the 12th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Connecticut Sun select Lucy Olsen, Iowa. Oh my God, did y'all see what this girl did against USC? She can absolutely cook. I know I had a lot of players going in front of her, but that was just strictly on team needs. I would probably take her over Aneesah Morrow, over Sonia Citron. I might even take her over Te-Hina Paopao depending on the team I got. But I think she's one of the most poised, high IQ guards in college. Excellent entry passer, excellent at running the break. And a lot of these teams be so scared when it comes to drafting. They do not want to take a chance on a player that they don't consider a sure thing. That's why you see teams like the Aces and the Sparks trading out of their picks, because it's less pressure taking players later in the draft rather than top 5. But there you have it, another episode of Chic and Ball. There you see a final look at our full mock draft. If you made it this far in the show, drop me a comment. I don't care if it's good or bad, I want to hear what y'all got to say. But if you don't got nothing to say, that's cool. Just like the video, because I value that just as much as a comment. Only difference is I can't see who liked it. But either way, it's all good. I really do love y'all for letting me do this. And that's all I'm going to say for now on this show. Thank you again for listening and watching. I'm Els for PR&M. Talk to you on the next one.